What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Economic Prepper here. It's getting real, you guys. We've been talking a lot about preparation and getting ready because a lot of changes are coming down the pipeline, and I cannot make this stuff up. I'm just sharing information with you guys because this is impacting me, it's impacting you and your families, and we have to prepare, right? And this is yet another bank closure. I'm literally sitting at a Bank of America right now that has suddenly shut down. And it's just crazy to think that our financial system and our banking system as we know it is literally changing in front of our very eyes, right? I mean, you know, we went through a season of massive federal stimulus and economic quantitative easing to support a collapsing economy in the face of the pandemic. But now things have gotten so bad that the Fed has literally just completely changed course. We're dealing with inflation to levels that we have not experienced in the past before, at least not in the last 30 years. And a recent note came out from Jerome Powell. I hope that you guys have seen my previous video maybe about a week ago, and we talked about this at length, but I'm just going to give you a quick excerpt from that. Basically, they're looking at the Federal Reserve is looking at completely wiping out cash as we know it and going forward with a central bank digital currency. Now, if you guys are not familiar with that, definitely check out my previous videos. I talked a lot about the central bank digital currency move and where we're going with that, but things are changing. So this is why a lot of people have decided, you know, hey, I don't trust what's going on with banks. A lot of people are saying to themselves, hey, I need to have more gold on hand. I need to have more cash on hand because I don't know if my bank is going to shut down on me, right? Here we are at a Bank of America, and so this is one of many banks that is literally shutting down, right? And we're expecting more and more bank closures. In fact, Bank of America just came out and said that they're actually going to be shutting more and more banks down, and we're going to evolve into this is what's going to happen. And a lot of you guys are already familiar with where we're going, and this is why we're preparing. Bitcoin, etherium, and other cryptocurrencies, gold, silver, these are going to be hedges against the US dollar, okay? Now, if you guys have seen my previous videos, the US dollar is already under threat, right? We know that the whole, you know, between the whole Russia-Ukraine war situation going on and the number of different sanctions that were placed on Russia by the US as well as other countries have forced Russia to kind of be like, they're kind of like an island right now, all by themselves for the most part. Well, this has actually caused a number of cascading negative events in terms of weakening the US dollar's global presence. So what I mean by that is Saudi Arabia and obviously Russia. Let's just talk about Russia for a second. So Russia's not using US dollars for any reason more than what they have to already, right? But Saudi Arabia is now looking at alternative forms of currency outside of the US dollar to trade oil. Now this is massive, right? So this is just one of many critical pieces to the puzzle in terms of why the US dollar is under threat right now. Bank of America shutting down. We're going to see so many more of these, right? And it's awful, but we're paying attention. We're aware of what's going on. So I'm sharing more information with you guys, and I love reading the comments from you guys. Are you guys seeing banks shut down in your area? Now, one of the things that I would be doing to prepare, and we've been doing this for years, make sure you are not carrying any kind of high interest debt if you can avoid it. Now, this should not at all be taken as financial advice, but with the raising of Fed interest rates. Sorry about all the noise in the background, guys. It's a really busy highway that I'm nearby. But with the Fed raising interest rates, if you have any type of variable debt, such as credit card interest, because credit cards are they're generally going to be on a variable rate. So whenever the Fed is raising interest rates, your interest rate, your balance, your monthly payments are going to be going up. If you're sitting on an adjustable rate mortgage on your house, you may want to really reevaluate where the best, what the best type of loan is for you going into this economic climate. Because as far as I can see, I'm seeing more and more Fed rate hikes, and if you're on an adjustable rate mortgage, your mortgage payment is going to continue to go up and up and up. And the next shoe to drop, we've already seen the stock market crash, we've already seen the cryptocurrency market crash. We're in the beginning stages of a weakening housing market. Now, we're not in a housing market crash yet, but we're getting to a point where the next shoe to drop is going to be that housing market. And in my opinion, those who are going to be most vulnerable are going to be, you know, those who don't have a stable mortgage payment. So if you're carrying an adjustable rate mortgage, I don't think that there's any more interest only loans available. But if you have an adjustable rate mortgage, you are probably among the more vulnerable people in our economic ecosystem, so to speak. So, you know, we got to prepare you guys. Also, since we can't necessarily rely on all bank branches to remain open, I think it's a good idea to keep some cash on hand. Now, I'm not going to say how much cash you should keep on hand, but when you have bank closures like this one here, you got to protect yourself, right? So you don't want to be in a situation where you need cash and they shut down on you. Like that could be a potentially awful situation, especially when I know a lot of people, because a lot of you guys have told me in the comments that you don't even mess with credit cards and you're 100% cash based. So if you can't get access to your cash because your bank shut down, that's a problem, obviously. So anyway, guys, we have to prepare. Also, this comes on the heels of Celsius. Celsius had this massive problem, and they're currently, according to what I just read recently, earlier today, the SEC is actually investigating them right now as a result of many of the many of the Celsius account holders were blocked from being able to withdraw their funds from Celsius, right? So, you know, if you had any kind of cryptocurrency held with Celsius and you were trying to hurry up and exit the market for whatever reason, make a withdrawal, it was a problem for you over the past week. So multiple states, this affected multiple states, and off the top of my head, I think it affected Alabama, Kentucky, I can't remember the rest of the list, but there were multiple states that were affected by this. But again, you know, so it's, to me, it's about diversification. It's about recognizing that we're evolving into this changing system, and it's happening rapidly. I used to walk into a Bank of America, or just about any bank for that matter, and there used to be lines of tellers waiting to help you out. And we saw this evolution taking place over a period of time. Over a period of time, you would see fewer and fewer tellers even available. And it has gotten to a point where if you can find a branch that's open, inside that branch, you might find 3-4 people in there at the most, and one of them is probably a manager. And they're trying to usher you over to ATMs that are within their facility, and they're eliminating teller positions. And this is nothing new, but this is the evolution of, if we predict this going forward 10 years, maybe even less than that, maybe 5 years, it's going to be very rare to even find a bank branch. There was a time you used to go, you know, everywhere, and you'd see a payphone everywhere. Like, you know, a payphones at the gas station, payphones at the movie theater, at the malls. But we started seeing less and less of them, fewer and fewer payphones. If you were born, there's so much noise in the background, sorry guys. If you were born after, I would say, 2005, right? So if you're born after 2005, you probably don't even know what a payphone is, because they've all been wiped off the planet, right? So banks will be next. Banks will be next. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Drop a like if you haven't already. Also consider subscribing to the channel. I have more information to share with you guys in future videos, but you guys take care and be safe.